All right, here we are. Welcome back to episode 8 of the Cardinal Country Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk to Matthew Bradley and Aaron Palmer about Jackson United hockey. We have currently 3 different Michigan Center students that are on the team. Barrett Rowe was unable to attend. He was busy in class today. But these 2 guys were able to join me, and we're going to kind of give the rundown about like this cool opportunity some of our students are participating in. So to start off, Aaron has played hockey for 8 years. This is his 2nd year with Jackson United. So he's ready to rock and roll this year on the full squad. He plays golf. He's an avid hunter, which I have him in class this year, and we talk about trying to slay bucks all the time. For Matthew, he is like an old grandfather of hockey, I guess. He's played for 15 years, man. He's been around the sport a long time, started young. This is his 2nd year also with Jackson United, so I guess it's the 2nd year that Michigan Center's participated with the team. He also plays baseball and is, like I said, a senior this year, and he's a member of the National Honor Society and the leadership program. So welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming on here. Hockey's one of those things that I've always liked hockey. I had one of my best friend from high school, and he was my roommate for 4 years in college. He was really big into hockey, but I went to EJ, which is similar size school, you know what I mean, to Center, maybe a little smaller. And of course, EJ doesn't have a hockey team either, so that I'm a little bit familiar, maybe more so than the average person here, with like how that worked, because he had gone to play for like Northwest and Jackson High in high school, but he played golf at East Jackson with us, so I always remember going to some of his games and stuff, and he was really big. He was kind of like you, Matthew. He had done it since he was a little kid. So anyway, good stuff. How about, let's start off with, what is Jackson United hockey? Because that was something that was totally new to me, and even with somebody that had a little bit of familiarity with the sport, totally new. So tell me about that.
It's a team combined with 4 schools. Take the hockey players from those 4 schools, make one team.
What are the 4 schools?
It's us, Northwest, Jackson High, and Western.
Right on.
We joined after they took out Springport because they didn't have anybody that played there. So
Gotcha.
They took out them and brought us in last year.
So like I said, back, this was like 20 years ago, back in the 90s, my good buddy had played, I think, maybe 2 seasons with Northwest and then a year or 2 with Jackson High when he was in high school. Does Jackson High have a team anymore, or is Jackson United the Jackson High team? Gotcha.
Team. They just, I think Jackson High owns it.
Did you say, now does Northwest have a team? Are there any other teams in the county that are not part of Jackson United that are separate?
Lumen.
The Lumen, okay, yep. Yeah, I remember they had one too, but
it's just the 2. It's Jackson United versus Lumen. It's a big thing.
Gotcha, the rivalry.
Yep.
So when do you guys play them?
We play them January 5th at 7 and January 26th at 5:30. So
Over at Optimist?
Yep, they have a home game and we have a home game.
Standing room only?
Yeah.
That's probably pretty crowded,
fun.
I like old
Optimist
Arena.
At 5 o'clock, there's nobody there for a Lumen game. You get there, it's packed.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in.
That's awesome. Good rivalry then.
Yeah,
how did you guys do with Lumen last year?
Well, the first game we pretty much beat them pretty well. We beat them 7-1. Then the second game we lost in overtime. So.
What happened there?
Late in the
Don't know. It happens. I mean, it's kind of like our football team this year, where they had lost the tight one with Grass Lake early in the year, and then bam, then they beat them by 30 points. You know what I mean? And it's like, 2 teams, sometimes they just stack up differently, or something's going on, and you get some wild card action there where, shake things up. So let me know then, like you said the season's about to start, right?
Yep, our first game is actually Saturday. Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. All right.
Yep. 5:30. We play at Optimist, so.
How often, give me just kind of a quick rundown of your schedule. Like, how often do you have games? Is it like, are they always like consistently on the same day of the week? How does that work?
Well, so this year we moved to a new conference, so a lot of our games are Wednesday nights and Saturday nights.
Gotcha.
So, like, there's some times where we have a Wednesday night home game and a Saturday night away game, or it's vice versa.
Cool. That makes it easy. Like, honestly, you're one of the wrestling coaches, which I've mentioned on the podcast before. We're the same program. Mm-hmm. We have dual meets on Wednesday nights, and then tournaments are on Saturdays. So cool. That way, probably makes it a little easier for parents to get time off and plan around that. How often are you about a split schedule of home games to away games?
I think this year we have 2 more home games than away games,
Mm-hmm.
so it's normally pretty even.
Gotcha. So, like, the nature of hockey, I would assume, do you guys go Like when you have an away game, you're probably driving, aren't you?
Nope, we take a
No,
bus.
we take a bus. We
Oh,
go to the
okay.
rink and then team bus takes us to the game.
How long a haul is it? Are you usually like an hour plus bus ride or so? Or would
Yeah.
you
It's
guess?
gonna be this year because we play in the Ann Arbor Conference.
The
Yeah,
Ann
our
Arbor.
farthest
Okay, so
game
that's
is
not
Kalamazoo.
too bad then. About an hour drive.
Last year we went to Lake Orion.
Yep.
so
We
it's
got a
not too
tournament in
bad.
Bay City.
Yep, we do have a tournament in Bay City. over
Bay City's
Thanksgiving.
a little bit of a drive.
Thanksgiving
Sure.
weekend.
That'll be fun. So is it a multiple day tournament?
Two.
Saturday, Sunday.
2-day one? Cool.
Right.
Yeah, I think in wrestling, Kalamazoo is about our furthest trip, except for like the state meet,
Yeah.
where we usually try to keep it within about an hour drive. So anyway, this conference, could you tell? You said it's the Ann Arbor League. What other teams that we might be familiar with? Do you know any of the other teams this year? I
Ann
know you're
Arbor
new to it.
Skyline,
Okay.
Pioneer, Ann Arbor Huron, and who else?
We got Saline on our schedule.
We got Chelsea.
Yeah, it's mainly think of like an Ann Arbor school. We play them.
So those are all pretty big schools then, huh? Yeah, those
They're gonna
are.
be decent this year.
Yep.
We got
I know
more
like the
teams.
ones you're talking about there, at least in wrestling, they're like Division I teams. But so how does that work? Would you be with Jackson United because it's Jackson High and these other schools? You guys would probably be considered like Division I or the biggest class too.
Yeah, so with the 4 schools combined, we have to add up all of like the total
Gotcha.
students. So that's why we're considered Division I.
Class A,
Gotcha.
whatever you wanna
Makes
call it.
sense. But you're drawing from talent from
Right.
kind of all over the county, a bunch of
Yeah.
different districts too. So it's a good deal. How do you feel the team's going to be this year?
We're looking pretty good. We had a couple scrimmages last Saturday, and we looked solid.
Uh-huh.
We lost a lot of seniors last year, but we have a few underclassmen coming up and stepping up, so it's looking good.
Right on. So this hockey, it is like full-on legit hockey with checks and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, yep, where you're all padded up and, yeah, just like what you'd be seeing on TV essentially, right? Yep, good deal. Now, this is your first year in that conference. How would you guess you guys are going to stack up with that competition in that Ann Arbor League? Do you think you'll fare pretty well there? Or had you played any of those teams in past
We
years?
played Ann Arbor Huron last year.
Uh-huh.
They weren't very good.
No? Able to get them?
Yeah, so we've set up a couple team goals, and we've wanted to be a solid contender for the conference.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the team goals, and we think we should be able to meet them.
That's awesome. So good luck to you guys. I hope you end up getting a conference championship your first year in there. I think you said, what would be, do you guys have a postseason for hockey?
Yeah, so postseason it's different than a lot of baseball has districts or football has districts. We go straight into regionals, so we'll play 2 pre-regional games, and if you win those, you play in the regional final.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of the times we'll play teams in our conference, some Lansing teams, and then we'll end up playing a Brighton.
Gotcha.
A bigger.
And I think I'd heard you guys talking before. With Brighton, they have a pretty solid, legit hockey team.
They get
Brighton's the bar. You want to be a Brighton.
That's who you want to be.
They
Gotcha.
were, They won
200
last
kids
year.
at their tryout.
Yeah, well,
They
did
got
you
a
guys play them last year?
Yep, we
Yeah.
played them in the pre-regional semifinals.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I take it then if that was they were kind of the powerhouse team, was that the end of the line
Yeah,
for
we
you
lost
there?
to Brighton last year.
Well, hopefully you learned a little something and you guys have improved and give them a run this year. That'd be really awesome. So, if you were to win the regional final, then how would that work for the state? Is there a state tournament you'd
They
enter
go to
in?
state tournament.
It goes pre-regional, regional, and then quarterfinal, semifinal, and then the state final.
Right on. So, your regular season, you said it starts this Saturday. When would the end of your regular season be?
Sometime in February.
Yeah, it's early
Roughly,
February.
yep. And then right after that would be kind of the postseason
Yep.
run. So that's pretty standard, I think, for most of the winter sports. I'm pretty sure wrestling and cheer and basketball might be a week or so staggered
Yep.
back, but they're all roughly February time
Yeah,
is
they
when
all
you're getting
fall
into
kinda.
the state. Yep. So that makes sense. So for regional finals and big games like that, where would you play at?
It's different every year. Just depends on who.
Gotcha.
holds
Different ones
the
host it.
We played in
tournament.
Kensington Valley last year.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for coming in and sharing a little bit about hockey with us, because I'd imagine this is something that is pretty new to probably a lot of center kids, because we're not a big enough school to host a team
Yep.
all by ourselves, so it's kind of a new thing. But I know hockey is a popular and I feel like it's growing in popularity. Anyway, yeah, hopefully this is a good opportunity when we start
Last
getting more
year-
center kids involved in it.
Last year we had a good amount of center kids in a lot
5.
of games. So
Yeah.
it was sweet to have the support.
That's good. Well, hopefully this podcast gets out there and we round up some attention. Maybe we'll have a good showing this Saturday for it. I mean, what time is the game Saturday?
5:30 at Optimus.
How long do the games usually go? Ballpark.
About hour and a half, 2 hours.
Gotcha.
That's because the Zamboni goes on during
Yeah,
intermission.
we have
That's
the whole
only reason.
intermission.
Sure. But they got concessions and everything out there, right? And all that. So
Big foyer.
right on. Well, maybe I'll try to pop out there this Saturday at 5:30, and hopefully I'll see some other Cardinals flocking that way too. So hey, final thoughts. Like, Aaron, you're a junior, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have another year here, and Matthew, you're a senior. What are your kind of future plans with the sport, and then just future plans for you guys in general? Why don't you both just talk on that for a minute, and then we'll kind of wrap things up.
All right. Well, after my senior year, hockey-wise, I'm probably just gonna play men's league down at Optimist on Thursday nights. But I hope to, I'm not gonna go to college. I'm going to trade school to be a computer electrician. So
We talked about that on some of the past episodes. Like, my personal feeling is that's a great decision, dude. If my sons are younger, they're in the elementaries, but if they were your age, that's kind of what I'd be, I think, kind of leaning them towards. That, like, man, if you can go play a college sport or qualify for some money or something like that, then I think college is a great option. But man, just the amount of debt some kids take on for going to like a 4-year degree, I don't know. It just seems like that's kind of a bit much, and some kids dig themselves into a hole real early in life. So I have, for a lot of students here at Center, have been encouraging doing exactly what you're planning right there, going the trade route. And then that's cool that you'd plan to continue playing in the hockey league, kind of what did you call it? What was the league?
it's men's league.
Just the men's league. You know, my brother never played hockey in his life. He was really big into like band and drumline, and now he works at Consumers Energy, and he got onto a hockey team. And in the last 5 years, he's gotten really into it. Not that he's some stellar player. He doesn't have that background and the skating skills of some of the other guys that are like you two that would be kind of lifers and had grown up playing it. But I'll tell you what, he has a blast doing it. And it's kind of a chill league, too, where they're not hammering each other and checking. And it's more just, out there to have fun. So that's cool that you'd want to carry on with it. Yeah, exactly. Keep yourself in shape. I mean, he said that, skating is one heck of a workout, too. That it does. He's pretty, lean and trim. And I think hockey, that's what he does in the wintertime. He spends a lot of time with it. Yeah. So, Matthew, what are your plans?
So, I was lucky enough I emailed a couple coaches, not really wanting to hang them up. I committed to Trine University. It's in Angola. It's D3 right now, but I can...
Indiana, right?
Yep, I can move up, play D3, D2, and then they also have an NCAA Division I team.
That's awesome.
So, that's what I plan on doing. I plan on being a teacher, too.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah. Nobody talked you out of it here? No, teachers? No. I think actually you have a great personality for it, and hopefully that's a great, great future for you, man. I could see you totally bonding with kids. Maybe we'll have you back on staff here at Michigan Center someday.
Forward to it.
Yeah, good deal. One of our wrestlers now, this guy graduated, probably 7-8 years ago, Cody Konitschke.
Yep.
He went and wrestled at Trine, and that was the first time I had really heard of Trine or got familiar with them, but he filled me in every step of the way, stayed in touch with me as he's down there, and he loved it, man. He had a great experience.
It's a littler college campus feel. Everything. It's kind of nice. I'll explain a little bit. The railroad, there's a railroad goes right through it. Everything on the left's school, everything on the right's athletics.
Yeah.
So I can't really get lost.
Yeah, he had a great experience there. He said he loved the campus.
Yep.
He loved just the feel and the vibe of it, and I'm not sure how it worked out for him. I think he was able to qualify for a little bit of financial aid and stuff to help him out through it. With, you know what I mean, trying to take on as little debt as possible. But he overall had a great experience there and was super positive on it. So I'm glad to hear you're heading that way too, and wish you the best of luck, man. And maybe we'll see you subbing or teaching full time in a few years down the road back here. What subject do you want to teach?
I haven't decided that yet. I'm thinking maybe a history or a English, something. I can't do math. I know that.
Hey, man, you're sounding like me. That's how I was too. Math that was my Achilles heel. I always struggled with that, but yeah, English and history were my two favorite classes. So
unless you teach them 3rd grade math.
Right on.
I do that.
Maybe.
Well, View's getting to be a pretty old man, so maybe he'll be getting out of the way just in time for you to come on back.
Yeah, there we go.
I always giving little digs to him. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for coming in and spending a little time with us. Yeah, this was really cool and definitely enlightening for me, and filled me on like the current kind of state of hockey in the Jackson area and what we got going on, because it has definitely changed from back in the time when I was in high school. It's really cool, man. I wish Jackson United the best of luck. Hope you guys have an awesome season, and then maybe in a couple months we'll get you back in here and do kind of an update on how everything went.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care, guys. So that's going to wrap it up for episode 8. Just a reminder, we can be found on YouTube and SoundCloud, as well as the school's website under the community tab. Still kind of working on trying to get it posted to iTunes, hopefully in the next week or two. Maybe after Thanksgiving break, we'll be uploaded onto there too. Take care. See you next time.